Welcome to Don't Tell Mama. Please silence your cell phones and put them away. Texting, photography, and video recording are not allowed during performance. And please keep the aisles clear for the performers and the waitstaff. Enjoy the show and welcome to the stage, Shailah Edmonds!
Yes, what a crowd, what a crowd. Yes, I am from Portland, Oregon. Yes, and it seems like every time I tell someone that, I get the same response. They have black people in it. I'm like, yes they do. The white people stayed on one side of town, the blacks on the other. It's pretty segregated, but we all got along. There was never any disrespect. We shopped at the same malls, went to the same restaurants, spoke to each other when we walked down the street. I didn't grow up with not one iota of discrimination as a child. It was a great place to grow up. We lived in a Tudor-style home. It was 2 stories and very nice, and I was the third of 4 children. The third girl at that. So by the time I came along, all the extracurricular activities were done. So I had a lot of time on my hands, which I spent reading or watching movies with my mother. She liked all the Joan Crawford movies and the Betty Davis movies, and I would just sit there. Oh yes, those were the days. I would just love watching those ladies. They were so elegant and glamorous. They had on the suits with the fur trim and the gloves and the glamorous detailed jackets. They were so gorgeous. And the hats. Oh my God, those hats. And I was about 6 years old at the time, and my 2 front teeth were missing. And after that, after I watched the movie, I'd go clanking around in my mother's high heels, and I'd say, I want to be a moving star. And I kept that in my head. My mother thought I was nuts. But the favorite part of that house was the basement. I loved the basement. It was nice and cool and dark and damp. And my father had built swings down there, and I would go sit in the swings and just swings for hours on ends and daydream about all I wanted to do when I grew up. And there were spiders everywhere, and I just watched the spiders crawling around. And whenever a spider came down under my swing, I would talk to it. I would ask it questions, and weird kid. Hey, we all were, what the hell? And anyway, my favorite memory from that house was when I invited my friends over and charged them 10 cents to watch my movie. And I had slides that were made from cartoon strips, and I slid them through a toy projector and narrated the characters and all the voices and all the things that happened. I just raised and lowered my voices. And when it was over, I got such a rousing applause that it startled me. I was like so surprised. But I knew it was something I liked, and I wanted more of it. So, gentrification came around and tore that old house down. Along with my favorite rock, I had this pet rock that was white on one side and gray on the other, and it had a gold strip running through the middle. And I just knew that rock was going to make me rich one day. And I carried it everywhere and hid it all in different parts of the house, and it got lost in the move. It's probably in somebody's landfill right now. No, I know. So, we moved to an all-white neighborhood. And you thought I was bored before. Oh my God. Do you know there's actually a city in Oregon called Boring? It's true. I wonder what genius thought of that. He probably had nothing else to do. Anyway, it was quite difficult because I was in my early teens, and you know what happens then. Things start sprouting and moving around. And what does a neglected teenager do when they have time on their hands? They get into trouble. Oh boy. And did I get into trouble? Oh my God, I gave my mother hell. Oh jeez, God rest her soul. I ran away from home. I jumped out a window, sneaking out the back door, doing anything I could to get to all the parties, doing all the wrong things, all hanging with the wrong people, and just doing absolutely everything that I wasn't supposed to. Finally ended up being a teenage parent and realized my life was in shambles. And I said, if I'm going to make anything of myself, I better go back to college and get an education. So I picked myself and cleaned myself up and got back into college. I was at the University of Portland, where I majored in elementary education. I didn't really think it was the place I really belonged, but wasn't really having a great time there. The best class I remember was the music class. But anyway, I made the best of it, even did some little sub-teaching and things, and all was going okay, until one day my girlfriend introduced me to a star basketball player. He played for the team across town, and it was his senior year, and he was getting attention from a professional basketball league to play professional ball. So we dated for a couple of months, and he fell in love with me. And most of all, he wanted to take me back to his hometown of Washington, D.C. and marry me. Oh my God! I said, yes, I'm finally getting out of Portland. Oh my God, this is great. I envisioned so many things, running from the paparazzi, wearing all the designer clothes, being in the stands, screaming for the winning team, and my husband was going to be the star of the team. Oh my God. I was just so excited, and we had such a special love. I knew that our love was there to stay, and although I had never been on an airplane, I had no fear, because I knew blue skies were ahead. It's very clear our love is here to stay, not for a year, whatever and a day. The radio and the telephone and the movies that we know, oh, they're just passing fancies, and in time they'll go. But oh my dear, our love is here to stay. Together we're going a long, 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 long way. In time the Rockies may crumble, Gibraltar may tumble, they're only made of clay. But our love is here too. Our love is here too. Our love is here to stay. And I couldn't pack my bags fast enough because those blue skies are waiting for me. Oh yes. Oh. Blue skies smiling at me. Nothing but blue skies do I see. Bluebirds singing a song. Nothing but bluebirds all day long. I never saw the sun shining so bright, never saw things going so right. Noticing the day hurrying by, when you're in love, my, how they fly. Those blue days, all of them gone. Nothing but blue skies from now on. Oh, those blue skies, they're smiling at me. Nothing but those blue skies do I see. Nothing but those bluebirds lasted about 10 minutes. His knees went bad, and he didn't want to get the surgery to correct it. And all he wanted to do was sit home and eat and watch TV or go fishing. And I, on the other hand, had just left Portland. I wanted to see the nightlife, the city lights, the social life, and go out and see the world. And he was having no parts of it. So I succumbed and became the good wife. And after having another child, I realized I was the most miserable person in the world. And I had to get away. So I did. But I still had those dreams of being a moving star. It was the height of the 70s. And the afros were huge. And the platforms were huger. Oh yes. And I was in it. I love those 70s fashion. And being from Portland, I love the trees and the grass. So I found a nice garden apartment overlooking the cemetery. There was grass and trees. So everything was going well. I kept my job at the telephone company as a 411 operator. And I dressed like this and thought nothing of it. I just thought I was a regular employee. And even got promoted to a customer service representative. I love that title. Oh my God. And things were going well. It was just working well and everything was going fine. Until one day, my supervisor brings in this guy, this new employee, and was giving him a tour of the office. And this guy was gorgeous. Oh my God. I couldn't take my eyes off of him. I'm like, oh my God, this guy was hammered and chiseled from the Rock of Gibraltar just for me. Oh my God. And when our eyes finally met, I knew something was gonna happen. Something had to happen. And sure enough, within 3 or 4 months, he had moved in with me. Oh yes, I was happy as a lark. Oh, I just knew this is this is the happiness I was looking for. We would drive to work together. We joined the bowling team. Oh my God, we would go to social events. I mean, we just were having a ball and life was just wonderful. And I just knew this was where I wanted to be. And I continued working, wearing my fabulous 70s outfits. And I was walking down the street one day, and this lady saw me. Well, she couldn't miss me. I must have been 7'2" between this hair and these platforms. Oh my God. And she said, you know what? You should be a model. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do anything right now. I just want to stay where I am. I'm happy. My life is just so perfect right now. She said, I'm telling you, you should be a model. And her office was near mine, and I'd see her every so often, and she'd say the same thing. She said, you are wasting your time. I'm telling you, you've got what it takes. You're tall, and you walk so well, and you're beautiful. She said, just try it one time. And my office employees, my coworkers had been telling me the same thing. So one day I just decided to take her up on it. She kept badgering me. I said, okay, show me what I have to do. And she took me to her apartment and she gave me the once over. And she said, her name was Ruth Turner. And she said, first of all, this hair has got to go. I'm like, oh my God, my afro? I couldn't believe it, not the afro. And then she said, and that outfit, you know, that's totally not fashion. That absolutely has to go. I'm like, oh my God. And then the last thing that really broke my heart, she said, you're not going to walk on anybody's runway with those shoes. And I'm like, oh no, not my prize shoes. I couldn't believe it. Fabuloso, I'm not done with my other shoe. That's fabuloso. My shoes had to go. You know. And she gave me the once over and redid my entire outfit and taught me how to walk in pumps. She taught me the full turn, the half turn, the Dior turn. How to take off a jacket without showing the tag while in the middle of a turn. Oh my God, it was just great. And she redid the wardrobe. She taught me how to dress and how to be a lady. And most of all, she taught me that model attitude. Yes. Then she told me, she said, I have connections with the fashion industry in New York. She says, I'm going to send you up to New York for a model competition. Me, finally in New York at a model competition? This is a place where I always wanted to be. Oh my God. So before I knew it, I was on the Greyhound bus on the way to New York to be a model. Oh my God. And I went to that competition and I won the Haute Couture Model of the Year. Oh my God. I could not believe it. I was so just so surprised. I'm like, me? Haute Couture Model of the Year? What a difference a day made. What a difference a day made. 24 little hours brought the sun and the flowers where there used to be rain. My yesterday was blue, dear. Now I'm a part of you, dear. My lonely nights are through, dear, since you said you were mine. What a difference a day made. There's a rainbow before me. Skies above can be stormy. Since that moment of bliss, your thrilling kiss is heaven with you. Find romance on your menu. What a difference a day made. What a difference a day made. What a difference a day made. And the difference is you. The difference is you. The difference is I was so proud of that trophy. My knees were shaking as I went up to the stage to get the trophy, and they made me do my signature swirl and turn and walk, and I was so. And the whole time I was on that stage, I had no idea what haute couture meant. They didn't have that important. So I went back to my table and discreetly asked the girl who was sitting next to me, who was from the deep south. I said, what is haute couture? And she said, I think it means high fashion. I said, oh, yes, I'll take it. So I was just so happy. And when I left the place, this lady approached me and she says, I'm a top New York agent. She says, when you come back to New York, give me a call, because I can teach you everything you need to know and send you on your way to make it to the top. I was in heaven. Oh my God, I couldn't believe it. So, I couldn't wait to get back to DC to tell my boyfriend that we were going to be an item in New York. I was going to be a big star. This was my big break that I always wanted, and I had this song in mind, and I said I was going to lay it on him thick in my sexiest, most smoky voice, and so slow and syrupy, and he would definitely want to come back with me. I said, what? I could not believe it. I'm like, why? What does this mean? He says, I guess we have to split because it's not my thing at all. You're going to be so busy with your model friends, you're not going to have time for me, so I guess we have to split. So, with my ex-husband, and he agreed to keep the children until I go up to New York to see what was awaiting me. God bless him, he was such a good man. And I couldn't wait. I threw everything in a U-Haul truck and just started, I drove with the wrath of God, just driving like crazy to get to New York. And I couldn't wait. I looked at that agent who gave me her card, and I said, I made an appointment and I said, I'm here, I'm Shailah Edmonds. I'm ready to be a big star. I put on my best jacket, my favorite hat, and my lashes were all in place. And I was just waiting for her answer. And she says, I don't remember really telling you that. I'm like, what? She said, we have so many black girls, we just have enough black girls in our agency now, and there's just not enough work for all of you. She said, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do for you. I'm like, what? And those were the last words I remember as I felt the blood curdling from my toes all the way up to my eyeballs. And I just lost it. I went into a rage and the hat went one way, and you'll have to read the book to see whatever happened. It was the biggest cat fight you ever want to see. The pictures were going one way, the hat was another. Oh my God, I couldn't believe it. And I had taken these wonderful pictures by the cemetery near my house that I thought were so artistic. And she paid no attention to my beautiful pictures. Oh my God. So, I finally got myself together and got out of there. And my eyelashes like anyway. And I got myself together. Thank you. And I'm like the Clockwork Orange here now. Oh God. So I got myself together and went around New York for the next few weeks, and to no avail, looking for an agent, just couldn't find anybody. So ended up spraying a lot more perfume in Bloomingdale's than I cared to remember. Took on some temp jobs as a secretary, did some typing and other things. And so all the while I was still taking pictures, trying to build up my portfolio. And I was working especially for this one photographer from Austria. And he says, you need to go to Germany. Germany is the place where you need to be. He says, there's no one like you there. You won't have so much competition, and you'll be a big star, I promise you. And I said, yeah, some people have been telling me that, but I just passed it off. So one day I went back to get my pictures from him, and he handed me an envelope. And he says, this is for you. And I looked inside, and there was a one-way ticket to Germany. One way, and I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, yes, I'm going to Germany. This is great. And they had just finished up a shoot, and there was a hairdresser there. And he says, what happens to your hair if we wash it? And I said, it blows up into a big afro. And he said, sit down. And he washed my hair, and he blew it out. And he started cutting and snipping and cutting a la Edward Scissorhands. And it was just like, it was an abstract afro that I just couldn't believe. And before I knew it, I had something that fit better than this one. But that afro was asymmetrical. It was shooting up on one side, sprouting out this way in a triangular shape, and going out the other way in a smaller triangle, and all these abstract cuts in the back. And I felt fabulous. He says, now you go to Germany. You couldn't go to Germany being with that plain hairstyle. And as I left there and walked down the street, the heads were turning and people were giving me double looks like, what in the world is that? But I loved every minute of it. You know why? Because you have to be an extrovert in this business. You have to be able to carry whatever off. So I couldn't wait. I went home and packed my bags, and within a week, I was ready to take off to Germany to start a new world. I could not wait. Pack up all my carry-all, here I go, swinging low. Bye, 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 blackbird. Where somebody waits for me, sugar sweet and so is he. Bye, 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 blackbird. No one here can love or understand me. Oh, what hard love story So I landed in Germany. Oh yes. I went to the first agency I could find, and it was in Frankfurt. And she said, "This is not the fashion capital of Germany. You need to go to Munich." I'm like, "Thanks a lot, Mr. Photographer." And I had packed up everything I owned. I had 3 humongous suitcases, and they didn't have wheels in those days. So I was lugging those suitcases, and I threw them all back on the train and got on the train to Munich. So I arrived in Munich and went to the first agency I could find. I said, "I'm here to be a model. I'm from America. I want to be a star." And she said, "Do you have a visa to work here?" I'm like, "What is a visa?" I'm like, "No, I don't." She says, "Well, you can't work here without a visa." I'm like, "Oh my God." So I hung my head and was forlorn and found a park bench and just sat on the bench and looked at my cemetery pictures. And I had no visa. I couldn't speak the language. My butterfly afro. And had very limited money. So what was I to do? So I just started networking. I went to every restaurant and cafe that I could and just told everybody what I wanted, and was getting nowhere fast. I got an offer to be a maid. I turned it down. I got an offer to be a stripper. I turned it down. I got an offer to work in a brothel. I was too flat. So I ended up taking on a job at the university as an artist model. It was a nice job, decent money, and it was just gave me enough time to still pursue an agency and get pictures done and talk to people. And finally I met this very nice man who just probably felt so sorry for me. And he set me up with an agent, the top agent in Munich, and got me an appointment. And she loved me. It was just the right time. She loved the afro. She got my visa done. She had new pictures done, got rid of my cemetery pictures. And I was on the way. And before I knew it, I was making more money than I'd ever made in my life. I was doing ski magazines. They were putting skis in my hair, and I never skied in my life. And was doing catalog, and this afro took me all throughout Germany, every city in Germany, for hair shows. They were loving my hair, and people were actually standing in line afterward to touch my hair because they had never seen anything like it. I was a huge success. Oh, I tell you, it was great. Now, I was always judged the cities that I live in by the men. And Germany was really nice. I mean, the German men were brusque and tall and strong, and everything was richtig. That's as they say, alles richtig. It started on time, it ended on time, and it was just like a rigid life. And I'm the kind of girl that likes a little fork in the road once in a while, you know, a few more wrinkles in the sheets, you know what I mean? So I started getting a little bored in Germany. So I met these models who said, "Come with us to Italy, you'll love Italy." Oh my God. You'll love the food and you'll do some great pictures. And before I knew it, I was on the train to Italy. Oh my God, it was great. I did some beautiful photographs, the most beautiful photographs I've ever done in my life. And they appeared in all the top Italian magazines. And the food was great. That pasta, you know, Italian food is wonderful. And the men were gorgeous. Oh, those men. The olive skin with the green and blue eyes. Oh, geez, they were gorgeous. But believe me, there was a lot of more crooks in the road in Italy, I tell you. Oh, jeez. And that leather, you know the leather. Oh my God, that leather, Italian leather is so wonderful. So anyway, I was in Milan, and after all the hoopla and the food and the fun was over, Milan was kind of an industrial city. And it got kind of boring, so I was a little bit bored in Italy too. So I met these models from Paris, and they said, "Come with us to Paris. You belong in Paris. It's the fashion capital of the world, and someone like you will work like crazy." And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe it. So before I knew it, I was on the train to Paris. And from the moment I got off of that train, the smell of croissants lifted me off my feet. And as I walked along, the art was so amazing. Things that I'd never seen before. And the fashion in the windows just made me drool. Oh my God, it was so beautiful. And the French people had this certain effortless chicness about them, just like I remember seeing in the movies. And I said, and wait a minute, the men, they were not that handsome, but they had this certain savoir-faire. And when they said, Mademoiselle Shailah, my heart skipped a beat. And that's when I knew that Paris was the place I wanted to be. I love Paris in the springtime. I love Paris in the fall. I love Paris in the winter when it drizzles. I love Paris in the summer when it sizzles. I love Paris every moment of the year. I love Paris. Why, oh why do I love Paris? Because my love is dear. You know, Fabuloso, he just loves to be ancient. Wait! J'adore Paris. Oh, j'adore Paris, l'automne. J'adore Paris in un été, il est brûling. J'adore Paris in un été, oh brûlant. J'adore Paris tous les moments. Tous les moments d'intéressant. J'adore Paris. Pourquoi, oh pourquoi, mais j'adore Paris. Parce que mon amour is too proche. All right, Fabuloso. Because of the fashion, and of course the amour, and because my love is near. And I learned the language really easily for some reason. And I was doing well with the language until I went to the restaurants, because they didn't have subtitles in English like they do now. So I would just point to something on the menu and probably read it in the worst French they ever heard. But I didn't care what they brought me, as long as it was French. with shafafa on the side. I don't want pork chops and bacon, that won't awaken my appetite inside. I want the frim sauce with the awesome bake, with shafafa on the side. Now, a lady's really gotta eat, and the ladies gotta eat right. 5 will get you 10, and I'm gonna feed myself right tonight. I don't want fish cakes or rye bread, you heard what I said. Waiter, please bring me mine fried. I want the frim sauce with the awesome bake. I said the frim sauce with the awesome bake. Should up I want your papa on the side. Thank you. So, I moved into a very nice hotel in the most exclusive part of Paris, Saint-Germain-des-Prés. Oh, I had a room at the top of the hotel that was usually used for maid's quarters, but they didn't have maids, so they said, just take it. You're a fabulous model, you can have it. So I could stay there as long as I wanted. And I met this wonderful, wonderful friend. Her name was Billy, and she was a transvestite. And we would meet in the lobby every morning for breakfast, and she would tell me the stories about her men that just had me on the floor. Oh my gosh, she was a riot. And slowly my repertoire of designers were building. I was working for Guy Laroche, Montana. All the names were slowly building, and I said, this is it. I'm a model in Paris, the fashion capital of the world. And I just knew life couldn't get any better than this. Until one day, I met the piece de resistance. Oh, his name was Jacques. Oh, Jacques was a wealthy Frenchman, and he loaded me with jewelry and fur, and even got my teeth fixed. Oh, you know a man loves you when he gets your teeth fixed. Yes. So, I just knew. I just knew. I never stopped smiling. So, we were an item. He was an art curator, and we were seen everywhere. We were at all the art openings, all the exhibits, all the lunches, the brunches, the opera, all the social events. We were an item. Oh my God, I was never so happy. And I said, this has to be just paradise. Life just couldn't get any better. Designers were building more and more, and I just was the happiest I'd ever been in my life. Oh, yes, I just knew that Jacques cared only for me. My baby don't care for shows, and my baby don't care for clothes. No, my baby just cares for me. My baby don't care for those cars and races, and my baby don't care for those high-style places. Rihanna is not his style, and not even Julia Roberts' smile is something he can see. My baby don't care who knows cars. My baby just cares for for me. Fast cars and races, and my baby don't care for those. Oh, no, those are high-style places. Taylor Swift is not his style, and not even Beyonce's smile is something he can see. My baby just cares for, my baby just cares for. Should-I-dee, should-I-down, should-I-dee-da-doo-dee-da-doo-wow. Oh, my baby just cares for me. Now, I did not come to Paris to have a relationship or fall in love. But that Jacques was so good, and he just kept loading all the goodies on me. And he had so much going for him, if you know what I mean. And I kept trying to avoid it. But slowly but surely that love bug bit me. And before I knew it, there was nothing I could do. Comes a rainstorm, put some rubbers on your feet. Comes a snowstorm, you can get a little heat. But comes love, nothing can be done. Comes a fire, then you know just what to do. Blow a tire, you can buy another shoe. But comes that love, nothing can be done. Don't try hiding, 'cause there isn't any use. You'll start sliding, or when your heart turns on the juice. Comes a headache, you can lose it in a day. Comes a toothache, see your dentist right away. But comes love, nothing can be done. Comes a heat wave, you can take off to the shore. Comes a summons, you can hide behind the door. But comes that love, nothing can be done. Comes the measles, you can quarantine a room. Comes the mousy, you can chase it with a broom. But comes love, nothing can be done. Hey. Nothing can be done. Comes that love, nothing can be done. Comes love, nothing can be done. That for those who just can't keep still. So anyway, before I knew it, I had fallen, and we were such an item. Happiness was everywhere. We were in the country, traveling, just having a ball, having the most wonderful life you can imagine. And one day, Jacques called me up and he says, "I need to talk to you." I'm like, oh dear, could this be marriage? I mean, this guy is moving fast. I couldn't believe it. So I got myself together and rushed over to his place. And
Thank you.
Really?
Monsieur, s'il vous plaît.
really, he's shocked. Anyway, Jacques calls me and says, we've got to talk. And I rush over to his apartment. And he sits me down and he says, you know, I have to travel for the next 2 or 3 months. And I want you to stop your modeling career and come with me. I'm like, stop my modeling career? And I thought about it. I said, Jacques, I'm just starting to work for the top couturier in the world. Yves Saint Laurent, I'm fitting with him one-on-one, just me and him every day. Do you know what that means? And Givenchy and Yves Saint Laurent never used the same model in the same season, and I was the one to break that mold. Both of them were using me, and Montana, Dior, Gucci, all the names were on my list, and I said, I just can't stop now. I says, I'll move into your house. I'll be here when you get back, I promise. And he said, nope, I want you to go with me. I said, so what does this mean? He says, I guess we have to split. C'est la vie. And I got in the taxi and I bawled all the way back to my hotel. And I called Billy first thing. I said, Billy, get over here quick. You wouldn't believe what just happened to me. And she says, what? I said, just get here, get here. And she got to my hotel and she sat down, and as soon as I was ready to pour my heart out to her, 2 policemen walked up behind her and tapped her on the shoulder and said, and that's the last I saw of Billy. So I went up to my room and wrote this song. Well, in the center of the city in a small hotel, my only friend a transvestite, and today she went to jail. Guess I'm destined to be alone, probably never will find a home where there's joy, peace and love, till I reach the beautiful sky above. beautiful sky above. Found a man who gave me his all, said he'd never ever let me fall. He wanted me to sing or be a dancer. Today he died of incurable cancer. That's what happened to Jacques, the star alone. I'm just a star. Well, that dreadful day came when I had to go back to Jacques' house and collect my belongings. Ugh. So I took a big bag over there and I was going through the closet and I saw Jacques' face on one side and all the designers' names circling around me on the other side. I'm like, am I making the right decision? I'm like, yes, Shailah, you gotta be strong. You came here for a reason. You just gotta do this. Stick to your mission. And I took things out of the closet and I just said, I gotta get rid of all this negative energy. And that includes you two. I mean, all this alone stuff, just get out of my life. Out, 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 out. I'm gonna make it. Who needs to stop alone? I'm alone. And I slowly sang this song as I was going through the closet and packing my things away. Grab your coat and get your hat. Leave your worries on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Don't you hear that bitter and that happy tune? That's your step. Life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with those blues on parade. Now I'm not afraid. I'm a rover and I'm crossing over. If I never had one cent, I'd be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street. Grab your coat and get your hat. Leave your worries on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to He's a little late, but you know, he's so fabulous. I can't name him. That's why we call him Fabuloso. So, that was the best decision ever. Because Fabuloso, easy, I'm just a model. Oui. So,
Check it out.
thank you. You know I never go anywhere without my hair. No, pas le chapeau, dans le chapeau.
She's good.
So, merci. Fabulous. Anyway, that was the best decision I ever made because my career started flying after that. Oh my God. I started going to places where this little girl from Portland never thought she would go. Spain, Portugal, Africa, Japan, London, you name it. I was just all over the place, taking planes like you could not believe it. Oh God. And I finally ended up elevating myself to the couture level of modeling. Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song, just let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Oh yes, you know I was rubbing elbows with royalty. All the princesses and princes and contesses, I was their muse. Yes, they were buying the clothes right off my back. Oh God, life couldn't be better. Couture. Oh yes. All my poses, my signature turns. Oh, won't you fly me to the moon? Just let me play among the stars. Come on, let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, come on and hold my hand. In other words, baby, baby, why don't you kiss me? Fill my heart with song, just let me sing forevermore. You know that you are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, baby, I said in other words, baby, should I do baby, but I believe, but I believe, but I do you in other words, baby, I love you. Thank you. So, I was making so much money by that point and just making plans now to bring my family back to Paris to live with me forever. And just at that point, a Japanese designer, Hannah Mori, she says, I'm doing a show, first of all, in Minneapolis and then a whole string of shows in New York for a week, and I want to take you with me. And I said, it was on my birthday, so I said, this must be an omen. So I says, I'll go. Hadn't been back to America in over a year. So I get to America, finally in New York, and contacted an agent. And she says, oh my God, you're Shailah. We've been seeing your pictures in all the magazines and all over the world. She says, where have you been? Why didn't you come to New York? What I wanted to say, I didn't. I just sat there and smiled and said, I'm here. Yes. And before I knew it, I was working for all the top American designers at the time. Bill Blass, Jeffrey Beam. I was on the cover of Women's Wear Daily, which is the Bible of fashion for Stephen Burrows and all the rest of the designers. Oh my God, it was just amazing. And it was at the height of the disco era. Studio 54 was in its heyday then. Oh my God, that was my place. I loved going to that place. They would part those velvet ropes like the Red Sea when I walked in. Yes, oh my God. And I used to dance until there was just hours on end, until there was not a drop of sweat left in me. For hours on end, I would take all my designer friends there and dance the night away. And I'm sure there was smoke all around me at all times because I was burning a hole in that floor. Yes. And I would dance till about 4 or 5 in the morning and go home and clean up and get dressed and be back on somebody's runway or showroom by 10 o'clock the next morning. Oh, to be young, yes. Those were the days. Yes. I was working hard for the money, and me and Donna Summer had something going on. Come on, put your hands together. Come on, Dr. Girl. continued doing my signature swirls and my couture poses all over the world, having such a wonderful career. And just like any part of show business, they're always looking for the next new face, the next new thing. And these new models came in like a hurricane. Oh my God. They called themselves supermodels. And they only went by one name. Linda, Christy, Naomi, Claudia, Tyra. And they came with personal trainers. And they came with PR people. And nobody knew them, but they had these great public relations people, and they couldn't walk half as good as we could. But people would scream their name when they walked down the runway and buy the clothes right off of their back. Ugh. So, just like that, the models of the 80s were history. And I never had a plan B, but as the funds got lower, I knew I had to think of something quick. So I started training models, teaching models how to walk on the runway. And I produced an instructional video, and I traveled all over the United States to every modeling school and every agency everywhere, teaching young ladies and men how to be a moving star. Yes, and was very successful with that for a while. And when I came back, I started using my expertise from all my travels and modeling and got into so many other things. It seemed like everything I wanted to do, it happened. I got into soap operas. I did commercial print, some print, soap operas, movies. Seemed like everything I touched, it turned into something. Guess I was a lucky so-and-so. When I walk down the street, seems everyone I meet gives me a friendly hello. Oh, I guess I'm just a lucky so-and-so. The birds up in the trees are also neighborly. They sing wherever I go. I guess I'm just a lucky so-and-so. If they should ask me the amount in my bank account, I have to admit that I'm slipping. Oh, but that don't bother me, 'cause confidentially I got me a dream that is pippin'. And when the day is through, each night I hurry to a place where love grows, I know. Oh, I guess I'm just a lucky so-and-so. Oh, yes, I'm lucky, yeah. If they should ask me the amount in my bank account, I have to admit that I'm slipping, oh yeah. Oh, but that don't bother me, 'cause confidentially I got me a dream that is pippin'. Oh, and when the day is through, each night I hurry to a place where love grows, I know. I'm just a lucky so-and-so. Oh, yes, I'm lucky. Oh, I'm so lucky. Somebody give me a horseshoe. I said, say, oh, lucky so and so. Somebody give me some salt to throw over my shoulder. Thank you. Had I finally came to terms with being alone, I said, you can totally be alone and be happy. After many nights of beating myself up and being miserable, I said, you know what? I'm doing what I want to do. All the time that I was married, all the time that I was modeling, I was humming a tune or writing poetry, and I had a rock star in my soul. I wanted to get into the music and just never had time. As soon as everything started dying down, I was able to get into my music, which is what I'm doing now. I have a Motown band, a jazz band, singing all over the city, and loving it. And finally come to the terms that even though I'm not in a relationship, some people are just not made for relationships. And I take my hat off to all of you who have one. It's a wonderful thing, but I have my life, and I realize that everybody has to walk to the beat of their own drum. You can't change people. So, I finally found my rhythm, and I love my life, and I'm so happy. I got rhythm, I got music, I got my life, who could ask for anything more? I've got daisies in green pastures, I've got my life, who could ask for anything more? Woe and trouble, I don't mind him, you won't find him round my door. I got starlight, I've got sweet dreams, I've got my life, who could ask for anything more? Oh, man, trouble, you know you won't find him, I don't mind him round my door. I've got starlight, I've got sweet dreams, I've got my life, you've got your life, we've got our life. Who could ask for anything more? Who could ask for anything? Who could ask for anything? Who could ask for anything more?
Ladies and gentlemen, Shailah Edmonds!
Thank you all so much. You're such a wonderful audience. Oh my God, this has been so much fun. Let's have a hand for this wonderful band. Oh my God, this band was so amazing. We have on drums, Mr. Dwayne Cook next on the drums, Mr. Paul, the bass man, Rosary on the bass, and my wonderful music director who helped me plan all this together, Mr. David Pearl. Our wonderful backup singers, yes, Miss Gina Coates, yes, Miss Kiki Hawkins, yes, and last but not least, the fabulous, fabuloso, Alejandro Fabuloso. Thank you so very much. You've been such a great audience. This is my first time out, and I plan to take this on the road and do more. And there'll be another chapter. Hard for the money. Yes, indeed. So hard for it, honey. She was hard for the money, so you better treat her right. She was taken from my memoir, a book called Wild Child to Couture Style. And for those of you who don't have it, if you'd like to purchase it, I will have them for sale outside, and I do take credit cards. And I would love it if you all could stick around, if you can, as much as you can, to have pictures, because there's not pictures allowed here. So I would love to have pictures with you all. I love you all. Thank you so much again. Thank you so much. All right, hope to see you again.